really know if it's surprising news, but I've never seen Nintendo do this. Nintendo announced that they're going to be supporting the Switch basically for the future. We don't know how long into the future, but the future. They said going forward, we'll continue to bring out new titles for over 100 million people worldwide who are playing the Nintendo Switch. Now you may be wondering, like, why would they do that with the Switch? Because they have the Switch too, right? And guess what? Everyone else will be doing it. PlayStation, Xbox. I mean, they're still doing it. We're still getting PS4. Like, I feel like we're getting it forever. You know, the
right.
Gen.
We never transitioned when the PS5 and Xbox came out because it was such a like sloppy launch with like COVID happening and all that stuff. So
right,
it was sloppy, but yeah, they just like have not given up on PS4 and whatever. And I feel like a lot of people still haven't even upgraded to those newer systems. Still.
So that's why they're making like these at least the PS4 versions. But Nintendo's never done that before though. Like it's like when they made the Wii U, they didn't make any more Wii games. Although in that situation, they probably would have made more money if they made actual, you know, like Wii games.
If they had kept with it.
Right, but they haven't, and now here's my question for you. So like, do you think we're gonna get like terrible Switch 1 games from Nintendo now? Like, I'm talking like Scarlet Violet levels of optimization.
I don't know. I want to say no, but it's probably going to be the case. Like, Nintendo's really good at optimizing their stuff, right? Like, and making sure it runs on their hardware that's been outdated for 30 years or whatever. So, I mean, if anyone could make it work on both systems, it would be them. But, I mean, there's definitely going to be games like Scarlet and Violet that slip through and just do not run well on the first Switch anymore, right?
I don't think I don't think any Pokemon game after a ZA is going to be on Switch 1, only because I think they'll look at it and be like, okay, if we want to push the Switch 2, we want to have exclusive Pokemon games for the Switch 2, right? Because realistically, right now, you could not upgrade it and you could play the new Pokemon ZA because it's coming on Switch 1 and you're just going to have a worse experience. But for all I know, maybe they will do it. Who knows? The other issue with that, and it does suck, is that like it basically also tells publishers like, hey, also make Switch 1 games and maybe work on the Switch 2 version, because if they just work on Switch 1 games, they don't have to make a Switch 2 version. You know, if it just happens, like they don't have to put in the effort to make it like better. It just which I don't know. I think that could suck. That's potentially going to suck. And considering this is the longest console generation ever for Nintendo, but like 8 years, 15. Wait, yeah, 8 years, right?
8 years, yeah.
I wonder how long they're gonna continue.
Yeah, I see it for at least like maybe like 2 or 3 years. They'll keep it going just for the transition, but eventually they're just gonna be like, no, we're done. Go buy a Switch 2, right?
I think. Oh, sorry. No, continue.
No. They'll force like the transition eventually because they want to just do the new stuff and all that. So,
I do think though that the remake Pokemon games that are going to inevitably come out will be on Switch 1 as well, because those ones don't have to require Switch 2 like power.
Right.
They'll just be
They'll just be a remake. It's fine. They can just run on the Switch 1 and sell just as well.
Right, so like I can understand them not making that exclusively Switch 2, but I think going forward for Pokemon games specifically, it's gotta be Switch 2. I'm just trying to think, like, you couldn't make that Donkey Kong game on the Switch 1, right? But, you know, like everything's destructible. You know, like it looked pretty glossy.
I feel like no.
Right.
I was gonna say maybe, but yeah, now I forgot, like everything's destructible in it, so probably not.
Right.
It's definitely gonna have a lot of physics that are just not gonna work on the old system. And then
was it Metroid Prime? That's on both. So like
that's gonna be on both, yeah.
So I wonder if it's just like a case by case, because like, or maybe they realize like, hey, we can't get this on. We can't get this working on Switch 1. We gotta just only do Switch 2. But Metroid isn't that like, I don't even want to say demanding, but like it's not like it's going as much on as like Smash. Or I mean, actually, I never played the Metroid games. Like, is there a lot going on?
Not really. I mean, it ran on like GameCube, and honestly, like even with all the enhanced graphics and stuff, I feel like the game's still gonna be generally the same as what the first three were. So I don't know. I feel like it's not that right. It's just prettier. The world's probably bigger than what they did on GameCube, right? But yeah, I don't know.
I just comment from someone on YouTube right now. As cool as Derek and well, this is G-Phone. You can see. Anyway, Nintendo is so freaking lame these days, but they brought us $8 games, and that's gonna be funny.
The $80 game upsets me less and less, honestly.
Right.
And it's not every game; it's only the games that they're
deem, picking. Like, yeah, right. Exactly, picking and choosing the value.
Right. And honestly, you know, the argument is that like Mario Kart will be Mario Kart for the next whatever. We had the last one for like 10 years, so like it was like 3 console generations we had that game for.
Oh, wow. Wait, we literally did though. Like we had old Switch, and we had I don't know how many years it was on the Wii U.
It was like close to launch, I think. Yeah, right. So I get it as like an investment, right? Of a game you're gonna own and play for probably the life of the Switch 2. I would say. I probably don't see another Mario Kart ever coming out.
It's like Switch Smash. 2. They only do one per generation, which
right. I mean, they're not doing it for Donkey Kong, and that's like a big launch, I guess, for them. And like they're not. I don't believe Metroid's $80.
Oh, you're talking about the price.
Anything.
I think they made Mario Kart 80 because they know it's a multiplayer experience, and it's like
right.
Much
That's
more...
why it makes sense, though, right?
Right.
Like Donkey Kong's like a one and done, you know, and Metroid's like a one and done. Pokemon, probably not this one, but like when they do a mainline series again, that will probably be $80. But because this one's like a spin-off, and I don't think there's going to be online for it like Arceus with this one. Like it'll still be like 60 or whatever they deem. So it's a smart business move. It's stupid, I know, but like there's logic behind it. I understand the logic. So
I understand the logic. It still sucks though, because then everyone just follows suit. It's like everyone's afraid until someone's quote unquote brave enough to make the price hike, you know?
Right. And you know what? I'm putting this bet out here right now. Next year, when they announce GTA finally, right, and show it off and put the price, it will be $100 game. And watch all of you fanboys of GTA just be like, yeah, of course it is. You know, it's GTA, you know, blah, 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 blah. Like, come on, you're gonna spend $100 on that game, and you know what? I honestly would say, yeah, it's probably worth it because GTA 5 we had for 3 console generations. People have been playing that game for like 12 years now or something ridiculous, and like that game is like one of the most. I think it is the like highest grossing like piece of media out there or something like that. Maybe next to like Pokemon, I think. But
I think Minecraft's up there. Oh yeah, I think I'm most like game sales. Because I know Minecraft's up there as well.
Minecraft's up there, yeah. But like Grand Theft Auto 5, just 5, not even counting any of the other ones, is like up there as one of the most ridiculous games. And that's because people literally play it every day still.
Oh, I mean, they're like addicted. It's pretty like.
And they buy their shark cards and their cars in the game or whatever, right?
Well, I mean, it's like its own like microverse at this point, which is weird because it's GTA, but
right.
Comics and
but it's like an investment, right? You're like doing this $100 upfront thing, but then you're playing this game for the next decade. So like,
true.
I get it. And most people who play GTA, like that's all they play. Which is crazy.
True. It's like Call of Duty people. It's like they're like addicted to it. GTA 6 is not worth $100. Firstly, comics chat. Like we don't know like how big the game actually is, you know, like the new GTA. The current GTA, no, it's not worth $100. That's insane. But considering like they've put estimated around $1 billion into development for this game, I'm not saying that makes it $100 worth it, but what that does mean is that it's gotta be not only massive, but just like a lot going on. I would be baffled if it was lacking content. Look, I would be floored if it was lacking content. And oddly enough, we didn't get a Switch 2 announcement for that. It just said Xbox and PlayStation. There was no Switch 2 for the, so like it's not coming to Nintendo as far as we know anyway. I mean, they still have until maybe next year they like it's a Nintendo Direct. That's totally like something Nintendo would want to do. They'd probably be like, "Hey, don't announce it for Switch 2 yet. Like we want to put it in Direct." Because if you guys already have the date, Minecraft is top 1 and top 2 at GTA 5. I'm not surprised by that. That's what I actually thought it was.
Right. Minecraft just makes money. Yeah.
Right. And you know what? They deserve it. But anyway, yeah, I'd give it. So like, if Switch 2 comes out next month, 2025, I'd probably say until 2028.
7 or 7 at the earliest. 8. Yeah, 8 makes more sense.
Like just Nintendo though. Like I think indie developers are gonna still put all their games on Switch 1.
Oh, 100%. Like, I mean, it's still like one of the best-selling consoles ever, right? People.
It's second.
There's like 100 million users daily on that stupid system. Still, like, come on, like.
I mean, I think it needs like one more year, but if it makes it, it will sell more than the PS2, making it the best-selling console of all time.
Right.
And
I'm sure that's why Nintendo partially doesn't want to get rid of it either. Is like, hey, just let's boost these sales. Do
it. Yeah, but I don't blame the indie developers. It's just Nintendo. Like, I really wonder if they saw the feedback on Scarlet and Violet and said this did not work well, and we need to do better. I don't know if Nintendo actually was willing to do that, but like that's why I just don't see anything past ZA. ZA was probably started on Switch 1, and then at some point like, hey. Like this will probably be out for
Switch 2.
Right. Yeah. So either way, like I don't blame them. I don't blame them if they keep going for a little while. It's just at this point, it just feels like at least with the PS4 and Xbox One, we're getting every game also on that console as well, rather than the newest ones. And then
they're still simul releasing everything, so
which I don't know, which like it like devalues the newest consoles.
Oh, 100%. Right. Yeah, I mean,
like you could have.
I think I've mentioned it before, but like looking back, like if in the future, looking back on these console generations, there's nothing to really look back on, other than like Nintendo doing like crazy stuff with their Switch and all of that. And like PS4 definitely had better games than PS5 so far. Still,
well, the PS5 doesn't have games, so you can't really say
right. Right, that's the problem, right? We're 4 years into PS5 and Series X, and still like nothing I can be like, oh wow, like that's amazing to look back on or whatever. But like PS4, like you're like, oh yeah, like God of War, Spider-Man, Last Guardian, there's a bunch of bangers on that system. So
well, I guess we'll have to find out. But I mean, I like we said, we do not, or at least I don't. But Derek also just basically agree with me that I don't blame Nintendo for still playing or putting their games on the Switch 1, but it is just very outdated. And these bigger games like ZA, in fact, actually, I would go to bed and say ZA shouldn't be on Switch 1. I understand it's a Pokemon game and like it's gonna sell stupid well, but like when you look at between what they announced for Switch 1 version and Switch 2, it's like night and day optimization. So like at that point, it's just like it's about making money, which kind of sucks. But I also just don't blame them.